My name is Randy, and I'd like to welcome you to the presentation on Internet-Delivered Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, ICBT, for those with stroke, developmental stage. In Canada, strokes are the third leading cause of death in adults with an incident rate of approximately 14,000 deaths per year. It is the leading cause of adult disability with approximately 50,000 new strokes yearly, which equates to one stroke every 10 minutes. There are approximately 300,000 Canadians living with the effects of stroke, 75% of whom are living in the community. In terms of recovery of those in the community, 40% are moderately to severely impaired and 25% with minor impairment or disability, while 10% fully recover. It is assessed that 3 million days yearly are spent in hospital because of stroke, costing $3.6 billion annually. Individuals with stroke can experience high levels of emotional distress leading to psychosocial impairments such as post-stroke depression, PSD, anxiety, fatigue, and sleep disorders, and decreased quality of life. PSD has also been linked to increased mortality, worsened functional outcomes, and slower recovery rates. It has also been discovered that there is an increase in medical utilization for geriatric depression among the stroke population compared to those without stroke. All of this in turn contributes largely to healthcare costs. Although mental health issues are prevalent and disabling, they often go untreated. This is especially true, but not exclusive to, those with mild post-stroke impairment. This can happen for a number of reasons that include not qualifying for rehab services due to not being impaired enough, lack of access to specialized care, living in rural or remote locations, lack of time, financial burden, or concerns about stigma related to seeking care. ICBT, Internet-Delivered Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, is based on the principles of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. CBT is an evidence-based treatment model that helps clients identify and modify thoughts and behaviors that contribute to their mental health concerns, including depression and anxiety, as well as neurologic symptoms such as pain. ICBT courses have been used in 2 of our studies as an alternate approach for delivering CBT to those with spinal cord injury and those with mild traumatic brain injury. The courses provide online self-directed lessons based on the principles of CBT with the addition of weekly support provided by a trained clinician, the guide, via a 15 to 30-minute telephone check-in. Recent ICBT research has been quite encouraging in that its effectiveness and feasibility has been reported in various health conditions. The main objectives of this research project are to 1. Identify gaps and nuances of the content of existing ICBT programs and develop a stroke-specific ICBT program which meets the needs of those with stroke. 2. Identify features and benefits of the online program and how it can be integrated into patient care. And 3. Identify needs, potential facilitators, and barriers that can influence implementation of the program. A client-oriented research panel was formed consisting of 8 individuals, which comprised of clinicians, care providers, and persons with lived experience. This panel was developed to serve as an advisory group to assist in the adaptation and tailoring of an existing ICBT course to meet the unique needs of those who have had a stroke and are living in the community. The first step was providing the panel with the existing ICBT course for neurologic conditions to review through the lens of those who have had a stroke. The panel members then attended 3 one-hour virtual meetings at which time they discussed and provided feedback on the existing gaps of information and content specific to the needs of those living in the community post-stroke. The meetings were transcribed verbatim and analyzed to generate a list of gaps and suggested content changes regarding assurance that the needs for those post-stroke are met. The next step was to make the changes and additions to content recommended by the panel. The first of 6 lessons was modified and emailed to the panel for further feedback. Using the feedback from panel members, the course was further modified. We are now in the final stage of development in that we are ready to send out the final draft of the course to panelists for approval. As you can see, the course is called Neurologic Conditions Course for Stroke. It consists of 6 structured, self-directed lessons that are based on CBT principles and spans over a 10-week period. The lessons are available on our own platform, and the participants work on the material for either 1 or 2 weeks. At the end of each lesson, there is a DIY section, which includes a worksheet that gives participants the opportunity to apply the material to their personal experiences and prevailing symptoms. As stated earlier, the participants have a 15 to 30-minute weekly telephone session as a check-in with a trained clinician, referred to as a guide, as a means of answering questions and concerns, assisting with personal application of materials, provision of encouragement and support, and collecting feedback on the course. We have recently received funds to complete a pilot randomized controlled trial to examine the feasibility and efficacy of the program among those with stroke. The program will consist of 100 participants who will go through a 10-week ICBT program compared to an information-only control group. Thank you for your interest in our study. We hope you enjoyed the presentation.